footage makes it feel like, well, wait, could somebody be documenting me now?
It's subversive. Anything can happen. It feels like you're watching real people in real situations.
We're going to find the lead's devil.
Everybody is on the edge of their seats.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2021 documentary film The Found Footage Phenomenon that is streaming right now on Shudder. The film is written and directed by Sarah Appleton and Philip Escott, and it features interviews and footage from a whole array of found footage creators. Now, for those of you who may follow my channel or may follow my content, and for those of you who don't really, I'm a big fan of found footage. I've done 2 top 10 found footage films. There's a playlist dedicated on the channel to found footage movies. I just really like them, and I think they can be really effective when done properly. Don't get me wrong, I've watched and reviewed quite a few of fairly poor found footage films, but an awful lot of them I think can be really effective if done properly. So I've been really looking forward to checking out this documentary. I've been wanting to fit it into my schedule to watch and review, and finally found the time to do it. And I have to say I was really impressed with this documentary. Now, this is a documentary that essentially is made for someone like me because I like the genre so much. And it was really pleasing to me to listen to all these creative filmmakers behind a lot of the best found footage films ever made, in my opinion, talking and kind of reaffirming the things that I say about found footage and things like that. It felt really pleasant to hear these wonderful creators talking the way they do. And some of the movies that they talk about and some of the creators of these movies that are being interviewed are people from things like Creep, Found Footage 3D, the McPherson tapes, Jerusalem, Wreck, Paranormal Activity, The Borderlands, Host, Devil's Doorway, Ghost Watch, Lake Mungo, and Troll Hunter, and more as well. I mean, pretty much every single one of the people every single one of those films that I mentioned there was either featured in the documentary or the creators of those films were being interviewed and things like that. So obviously the Blair Witch Project's in there as well, and they were certainly one of the directors was interviewed. So it was really great to see. And the creator of the Cannibal Holocaust as well was being interviewed, which I thought was really fantastic. All these top creators of the found footage genre being interviewed, getting their message across in regards to how their films are made and their affection for the genre and things like that. So it was really good. But what I also found really fascinating, because there is many a debate out there as to what is considered the first found footage film. And, you know, it's a kind of a dumb debate, really, you know what I mean? And it's every time, you know, someone might come out and say, well, it was the Blair Witch Project, or it was this, that, or the other. It goes right back to the 60s, like the Mondo tapes, the Italian Mondo tapes. It even talks about in this documentary the War of the Worlds radio podcast way back in the day, you know, is not considered found footage, but the emotions that it generated and the people that listened to it, they thought it was real. And also some of the narrative stuff that goes on in the Frankenstein novel and the Dracula novel, you know, all the narrative, the way that's been written and things, all lend to like the found footage genre in a lot of ways. And the idea behind found footage is not necessarily this is the first found footage film. It's a reality thing. It's about you as an audience member watching it and feeling like what you're watching is real to some degree. Now, that magic trick is gone to some degree. You know, they managed to pull it off with Blair Witch to a massive degree because it was the birth of the internet and things like that. And they talk about that in this documentary. And then the next one to really capture that was Paranormal Activity. But audience members never really thought that was real. It just generated, you know, them feelings again, if you like. And ever since then, pretty much every found footage film, some of them are done really well. Some of them are really creative. and they do get them emotions going. I think the magic trick is gone in the sense of we as audience members don't look at them anymore and think, they were real. Or that could have been real, or it is real, like some of the earlier ones, especially Cannibal Holocaust. I mean, the director even talks about the fact that when he signed the actors on to that film, they had to sign a contract where they couldn't do another film for a year because he wanted to generate that feeling with the audience that they died. But he said that worked against him because courts in Milan wanted to prosecute him for their death, so he had to prove they actually were still alive. So that was back in the 70s, you know. I mean, it was a whole new thing. And it was really good for me as well to see the director of the McPherson tapes interviewed. For me, that is arguably my first experience with found footage back in the day, and I have covered that and its remake on this channel. I did a double review for both of them. I just think they're really, really good examples of early found footage. And we've got the last broadcast, they're being interviewed and all that kind of stuff. And it's really fascinating to see all these creators kind of bouncing around their ideas and where they sit in the genre and discussing the genre in general. It was really, really wonderful, and it reminded me, not that I necessarily needed reminding, how much I enjoy this genre when it's done properly. And all of those films I've mentioned are great examples of found footage done really, really well. So yeah, check it out, guys. If you want to learn more about found footage, if you like documentaries, this is a well-made one. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. Definitely worth checking out. I really, really enjoyed my time watching it. So I hope you enjoyed this review. I'll be back with more reviews and content on the channel very, very soon.